So today we're going to dive into this really powerful monologue. What we've got here is this raw expression of public frustration, right? It's basically a series of tough, no-holds-barred questions aimed directly at the people in charge. And it really gets to the heart of this huge social tension.
So the whole thing kicks off with this really sharp intro from the speaker, Abhishek Singh. And I'm translating here, but he basically says, "Greetings. Today's biggest question is direct, harsh, and it comes straight from the people." I mean, right from the get-go, you know this isn't going to be some polite chat. It's a full-on confrontation.
And that really brings us right to the core idea here, the people's voice. See, Abhishek Singh isn't just up there speaking his own mind. He's making it clear that he's a mouthpiece, a channel for what everyone is thinking and feeling, all those collective questions and frustrations.
So what's really at the heart of all this? Well, it boils down to a fundamental conflict, a clash between two totally different stories about the nation. You've got the official story, the one about progress and everything being great, and then you've got the reality that so many people are actually living day to day. To really get this, we've got to start with that official claim.
All right, so let's dig into that first side of the story, what this piece calls the government's claim. This is the narrative that's being put out there officially.
And that whole narrative, it pretty much comes down to one simple idea. All is well. The message that everything's going according to plan, that things are looking up for everyone. But, and this is a big but, that's the exact idea this monologue is here to tear apart.
Okay, so that naturally leads us to the other side of the coin, the people's reality. And this is where the script just completely flips. It's where you see that stark, glaring difference between the official story and what people are actually going through.
This really captures the disconnect perfectly. On one hand, the government says everything is fine, but the people, through this monologue, are asking, yeah, but fine for who? And that one simple question, it's designed to just pull the rug out from under that entire official story.
And the frustration doesn't stop there. It then takes aim at official paperwork, the budget. The speaker asks, and again I'm translating, so you just write the word development in the budget? Do you think we're all fools? I mean, that just perfectly captures that feeling, that deep cynicism you get when the words on paper don't match the world outside your window.
So what does this people's reality actually look like on the ground? Well, the monologue lays out some very specific, very real problems. We're talking broken roads, not enough beds in hospitals, and schools that don't have teachers. See, these aren't just vague complaints. They're the kind of things people deal with every single day.
And it's not just about public services. The monologue then really zooms in on the economy, making the pretty blunt claim that unemployment has hit a peak.
And wouldn't you know it, on this exact topic, we see that same clash of stories all over again. You've got the official line, which is super optimistic. Leaders are out there saying things like, oh, the youth have so many opportunities. It's that classic message meant to make everyone feel hopeful and confident, right?
But then comes the comeback. And it is sharp. The rebuttal is basically, oh yeah, but only in your speeches. And boom, right there. That line just nails the feeling that all these amazing opportunities, they only seem to exist on a stage with a microphone, not out here in the real world.
Next up, the monologue gets a bit satirical to talk about corruption. The point it's making is, well, it's pretty clever. It's suggesting that bribery is so common, so totally normal, that if a government worker actually does their job without asking for a bribe, it's like this huge, shocking event. Something you'd see on breaking news.
And this sense of frustration isn't just in one place, it spills over into other areas too, like farming. The monologue sets up this really powerful contrast. You have the farmer, whose reality is simple and real. My crop grows in the soil. And then you have the reality of the bureaucracy, which is just cold and stuck. Your file is sitting on a table.
So, all these points, they're all building up to this one really devastating conclusion. The speaker asks, and again, I'm translating, so who gets crushed in the middle of all this? Our people. It's this powerful statement that, at the end of the day, it's the average person who pays the price for all this dysfunction.
All right, so after laying out all these specific problems, the monologue makes a big pivot. It shifts to this final really big challenge. It starts to question the whole idea of what governance is even supposed to be.
And the first part of that challenge is a question about substance. It's asking, are we actually creating real programs, real schemes that make a difference in people's lives? And right after that, it hits you with the flip side.
Or are we just coming up with catchy slogans? It really forces you to think, right? Is this about real impact, or is it just about good marketing? Is it substance, or is it just style?
And the last question, this one really hits home. It asks, and I'm translating, whose progress was it really, and who got left behind? I mean, that is a direct shot at the idea of growth for all. It's demanding to know who the real winners and losers are in this whole story of development.
And the whole thing doesn't end with a neat little answer. Instead, it ends with a promise, maybe even a warning. The final line translates to, until we get answers, this voice will not be silenced. And that's it. It's this defiant, powerful sign-off that really leaves you thinking about accountability and what happens when people feel like nobody's listening.